Hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome to a financial reading for the month of February. What I'm going to be doing in this reading is I'm going to look at the energies for the month for those of you who are dealing with finances, career, education, negotiations, contracts, bills, what have you. All of the different ways that I can break it apart for this month to see what's going on for you. In terms of finances, that's what I'm going to do. You actually have good energy so far. A little bit of frustration, but overall, really good wish fulfillment coming out in this reading. Lots of strategizing and working together with the right people. But before I get into all of that, let me mention that this reading, because it's financial in nature, I do have to disclose, as per Ontario's regulations, that I do not, and none of these readings that I do, ever replace or supplement any financial advice or legal advice of any kind, or career or professional advice of any kind. Not medical advice, not nothing. They are for strictly entertainment purposes only. Although, do we like to get into these kind of readings? Absolutely. These are some of my favorite readings to do, regardless of all of that. So let's get into it. I'm going to tell you what I see first off. I see 2 threes. I see the three of cups, the 3 of swords is here, which is a difficult card to get. You can look at the image on this card and you immediately know, like, why is there heartbreak? Even if you've never seen or had a tarot reading before, the 3 of I keep saying the 3 of hearts. God, 3 hearts that are sorrow-filled. Even with the 3 of swords, this is one of those cards, if you've never even got a tarot reading, that you can probably recognize this. It's the most infamous card in tarot. Typically a depiction of 3 swords that are stabbing into a heart, denoting that there will be some energy of hardship. And because this is a card reading for the month of February, and I am reading this reading already, before we even get into the month of February, by February is going to be in 48 hours. We are just days away from it. So you may very well already be feeling this feeling of frustration. It is the first card that came out after all. The first card of the reading here denotes that very early on in February, you might be very stressed out, feeling sorrow-filled or heartbroken over a financial situation. Some of you might have difficulty with finding employment. Others of you, maybe you've been frustrated because the closing sale of a house hasn't been working out, or your travel or a bill in your mail has been bothering you. Others of you might be a little bit more frustrated at the path and frustrations of education or a career or trying to build a business. Whatever it is, it starts off with that dynamic of frustration, but it's being followed up by some pretty damn good energies. Let's talk about the 2 threes. Historically, and if you've ever had a reading from me before, I love it when we see cards that multiply. By multiply, I mean you could have 2 kings in a reading. It's going to have a very specific reading. You could have 2 5s or 3 5s, and they'll have wildly different interpretations. And that has occurred in this reading, because in this reading, right here and right here, we have 2 3s, and both of them are in the upright position. And it is quite the opposite of the 3 of swords, which is, again, sorrow and frustration. When you have 2 3s in the upright position, it means you're going to enter into a period of calm. Isn't that a lovely dynamic? A period of calm. And I think this card right here, the Star card, is a great depiction of that. People who are just gently glancing up at the night sky as if they are making a wish. I wish I may, I wish I might have this wish I wish tonight. In the serene calm of the nighttime. See, the Star card historically was connected to sailors who were navigating on the seas. They would use the stars to get them to their home. They would use those stars to navigate them to their goal or to their land. And you best believe that the moment those sailors came to that part where they saw land ahoy, that supreme feeling of calm came over them. That is so telling to the reality that at some point in the month of February, the sigh of relief that you have been waiting for is right there on the horizon. A little blip, the little lights of the stars are going to start shining through, and you're going to be able to realize in this month, oh my God, I got there. Oh my God, I finally got that breath of relief. And it's wild because we are coming into a Mercury retrograde, which for a lot of people usually deems a lot of frustrating moments. But in this energy here, you're actually coming to a position of calm and getting closer to the navigation and goal that you've been trying to get to. And it's been through a lot of your hard work. I might say, because the king, we've got two kings here. We have the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands in the reversal. Both of those are really lovely cards to get. A lot of people don't like the King of Wands. The King of Wands, whether it's in the upright or the reversal, though, in a modern sense, a lot of people don't like the King of Wands. But in the historical sense, it is a much more integrity-based card with a lot of truth and power behind it. If anything, the King of Wands was a card that was called honest and austere, yet severe. Very severe in what he does, very strategic. And when you've got this king of severity and direction, he gets what he wants. Merged with the King of Pentacles, he strategizes for what he wants. He's very intellectual, the King of Pentacles. And he's surrounded by a lot of money. He is the king of his pentacle suit, right? You mix those two kings together and you have a great power energy coming from you for this particular month in terms of strategizing in a very straightforward, direct, and truthful way. Remember, the King of Wands is the ultimate format of your willpower, thy will be done, getting what it is that you want, and feeling that sense, just like the sailors on the sea, that you navigated yourself there. You went through all of the rocky waters like a boat on the ocean. Some days it's stormy waters, and then all of a sudden that calm hits, and they're like, I did it. They look to their sailors around them and they say, aye, boys, we did it. We got through the toughness of it. That's what this is. I'm telling you, this is the energy of having gone through the toughness of it and coming out on the other side to that point of calm and realization that you have actually got something tangible that you can go forward with. The piece of paper lands in your hands. The announcement that you've been waiting for gets made. The job that you hand that resume for, again, each one of you is going to be different, but it happens in this month of February, and that breath of relief is here. The last thing I want to point, or not the last thing, I'm going to talk about the fact that you have two kings, but I do want to talk about the fact that it's a Three of Pentacles energy. And what is he doing on the card? He's staring at the stars again. I'm telling you, it's wish fulfillment for you guys. But the Three of Pentacles in history, it is the traditional story of people who come together at the right time to build the right foundation. It's the card of the stonemason. The Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles are both kind of the story of the stonemason, where you build the foundation. See this building in the background? How did they build this building of the observatory with that little owl perched there? They had to build the cornerstone, put it in the exact right position, or the rest of the building wasn't going to stand up appropriately. This tells me that you're going to be working with exactly the right people in the foundationally correct way to get your navigation of wish fulfillment to come through. Like, you couldn't map this reading out any better. Now, to top that up, again, you have two kings here, right? Right here. The King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. When you have two kings in the upright position, and you don't have it like that, but just hear me out. When you have two of them in the upright, it means you are dealing with minor counsel between two people, or more people, just like people getting together. If you have two kings in the reversal position, which again, you don't have, but hear me out. If you have two kings in the reversal, it is dealing with a project of some sort. Now, if you have one king in the upright and one king in the reversal, which is how you had it, then you realize and you merge the two of them together to an understanding that you are going to this month have people coming together in minor counsel about the project that you're trying to have accomplished. So this is not going to be a dynamic that you do alone. This is going to be collaborative or cooperative. You come with the right people at the right time. Someone comes to you and you communicate. And I think for that reason, we can see in the depictions every single time, like a king, what does a king have to do? He has to come and he has to communicate with his people underneath him. He has to come to the people in the marketplace. He's always working with other people. A king doesn't rule a kingdom by himself, right? You have another king doing that. You have the Three of Pentacles, which traditionally means coming together with more than one person. You have the Star card showing, quite literally, more than one person, right? The only thing that the only isolation period you have is at the beginning of the month where you're feeling overwhelmed. It's the situation that unfolds later on in February that puts you into a position of working with the right people at the right time. And I think that's beautiful. I think that summarizes great wish fulfillment. So that again, as I mentioned, the information that you need comes in this month. If you've been waiting on a letter, it's this month where the thing gets communicated to you, right? If you've been waiting on a phone call, it's this month that that phone call comes in. I also think that for some of you, you might get the information close to the end of the month. If you're looking to start a job or start a new internship or an apprenticeship or something that requires a beginning date, that kind of thing, you might get notified close to the end of the month about it and then begin it in the beginning portion of March. The reason I say that is because the star energy here of the star card and the Three of Pentacles, those have to do with seeing something right on the horizon line, right? Close enough for you to see it. So it insinuates that, like, say if it was the Hermit card, the Hermit is a picture of a man holding the star in his hand. He's right there with it, right? But in this case, the star and the Three of Pentacles, like if you think of the number 3 in numerology, it means there's a little bit, just a little bit of a stretch more to go. The information comes to you. The great sense of calm comes to you in the month of February, and then it's go time thereafter, which could be say again the end of February or the beginning of March kind of thing, where you transition out of the calm and into the hard work. Maybe not hard work, but into the work that feels rewarding to you regardless. So with that being said, I'm going to leave you off with that. You have one of the best readings so far out of the zodiac signs that I've done. I now have to get along, little doggy, over to the sign of Aquarius and Pisces for the last 2 financial readings that I'm doing. But if you are interested, I am going to go over to TikTok and I'm going to break things down week by week. A little bit of an extra unlockable content for a financial reading I'm going to put over there on TikTok. And I'll look at the first week of February, the second week of February, third week, and onwards, and we will see which of those weeks suddenly the communication comes in, or the letter or the phone call, whichever weeks are a little bit more promising financially for you. That's what we're going to look at over there. So I will leave you off with that. If you're interested in a private reading, you can always get a hold of me at the information that's below this video in the description. Or if you ever just want to hang out, because I'm a whole ass regular human, you can find me over on Instagram and Facebook. I'm the only Linny D with green hair in her profile picture, so I'm really easy to find. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much, and ciao for now.